Oh, but you want to get a picture of us? Okay.
This lady wasn't saying we was on the crowd.
Okay. All good.
This happens here, baby. Go ahead and cry.
Her award?
That's right. I want to dedicate this to my mother and my sister. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
The next sister that's coming up is Takia Diamond.
That was fast.
So I met this sister a couple of years ago. I was going to a program that I didn't know you were going to be there because Brother Turner got in contact with me and said, Ms. Bay, you need to come to this program. I said, oh, okay. He was telling me about this sister. She wrote this book about trauma and everything. I said, okay, yeah. I said, well, let me go and see what she has to say, right? Not knowing that I had been following you on Facebook because you always had something positive to say, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I said, oh my God. And so when I say that we go through things, we not only go through them, look, everything that you went through, you grew through.
Absolutely. Yes, I do.
And you're still doing that.
Yes.
Yes. And you have been an inspiration to women. All right?
And one over there crying right now for me inspiring her.
Oh, okay.
To become an author, right? The author because of me today.
All right, see? But guess what? That's what people do who inspires other people. Because we have to see what they're going through. And I always have to use the term growing through. Right? So anyway, Takia is, now I know, I was getting ready to say. Takia is an author. Plus, she is a social media person. I know you're a coach.
Yes. So, personal development. Oh, well, you know what, since y'all gonna give me the mic, y'all know I gotta turn up, right? Let's get the energy up in here, y'all. Let's keep it positive. When I say minds, y'all say up. Minds. Yes. That's what it's about. It's about us keeping our minds up. And I'm the CEO of Minds Up Transformation Company. I'm an author of 12, probably more than that now. I stopped counting after a while. And I also help other aspiring authors become published authors. Miriam has become my baby. Like, even though she's older, she's still my baby. So that's why when she said, this is my best friend, I said, oh no, we gonna fight over that, baby. We gonna fight over that title, right? Because this is my girl. Like, as much as she's sharing with you guys how I inspire other people and even inspired her, I just be me, y'all. You know, I don't try to be anybody that I'm not. I'm honest, I'm clear, I'm concise. And I believe that everybody is somebody. And my goal is to prove to you that you are somebody, right? So that you can walk around and say, I know I'm somebody, you know? Because so often we're taken off the path by other people's opinions of us, what they think about us. Oh, we're not good enough. Or we're not fabulous enough. Or we don't speak proper enough. Or we just don't do all of these things in the way that somebody else envisions that we should do them. But guess what? Our paths are personal, right? My path is personal. My path is not for you to say yay or nay. My path is for me to grow through that experience because I know that through that experience, I'm helping somebody else become better. And not only am I helping someone else become better, I'm helping me become better. I'm helping people to actually see me as the evidence, as the example of what's possible, you know? And so, yes, my latest work that Miriam has fell in love with is my last book called Untraumatized. Untraumatized, breaking the chains to healing, self-discovery, and empowerment. And it's really all about understanding who you are, understanding personality disorders, because a lot of times we think that it's us, but you're not understanding that the person that you're dealing with actually suffers from something in their mental health, you know? And so it really breaks it down so you can be like, maybe it's you. You know? So we don't want to accept it, but sometimes maybe you might be the person that's toxic. You know, in this book, it will show you if it's you or if it's somebody else, but it's not to judge you. It's to show you so that it can grow you. But that's it. I don't really have much to say except thank you, Miss Bay, for being so amazing. And if you guys can follow me, it's TK Diamond on Facebook. I do a lot of women empowerment events. Not just women empowerment events, even entrepreneurial events. You know, if you want to start a business, I can help you start your business. I can help you get your branding together. That's why she said, you're a social media person. I'm great at social media, but I'm not a social media person. And I'm going to give y'all that. But thank you guys so much.
So, you also received a letter from the Honorable Mayor Rasmussen. Also from Governor Phil Murphy.
All right.
Also from Congresswoman McIver.
I'm talking about. You see?
And also Newark Municipal Council.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Thank you for choosing me, because you could have chose anybody else, but you chose us ladies, and that's how we know we are special. Because you are.
Thank you. Oh, we gotta take our picture.
Yeah.
So, the next sister that's coming up, I met her at my job where I work, right? About 2 years or so ago. And she comes in, and we start our talking and everything, right? Just a second. And she said that she raps. But she wanted to be a nurse. I said, wait a minute. You rap and you want to be? I said, well, today is my nephew's birthday. I said, 50 Cent is my favorite rapper. Can we do it? And we got it when we did. Go, shorty, it's your birthday. We're going to party. Miss Neva, come on up here. Her story about, remember I said earlier how music uplifts me? She uses her music to help her patients. When I tell you that she loves her patients, she does. And you're such a wonderful, wonderful person. And she loves what she does. She loves what she does. So I'm just gonna let you just talk a little bit about yourself.
This is good day. My name is Neba Chester. My rap name is Nikki Cool. I'm a CNA, certified nursing assistant. I'm a rapper and a poet. This one is gonna shock Miss Bay right now. You'll hear something. Let me share this with you. God is awesome. In 1980, I was brought to America by a couple who could not make children. That was my cousin. My mom made 10 of us. And poverty in Georgetown, Guyana was very dim. And so she said, listen, I like this little red girl here, which is me. Can I bring her to America? There it is, Newark, that curly hair mixed with Portuguese, Amerindian, and Negro, came to America in 1980. I went to Hanson Place Seventh-day Adventist School. I was the pathfinder in the Adventist church. Lo and behold, I was growing beautifully. Curves, breast area, and jealousy stepped in. Let me back up. When I came to America, she brought me up as a permanent resident with my biological name, which is Newark July. She kept maintaining that passport. That's fraud. But I'm going to school as Newark Chester. In 1988, she said, listen, would you like to visit your mom? Who doesn't? I said, yeah. There I proceeded to Guyana, where I saw met my nephew, and my biological mother. Lo and behold, she tampered with everything and left me back in Guyana. 26 years in Guyana, don't know nothing but Guyana. Don't know my mother really because I migrated here. Adaptation took part. There I sought God through music, through prayer. I was in the bathroom rapping one day, yo, God, I want to tell you this today. What really have I done to expect this today? Adoption? Is this love? What is love? And I realized it had a rhythm, and it sounded good. I took part in numerous competitions in Guyana. I'm married to my husband. He's an RN in Guyana, and produced 2 children. One day, her conscience pricked her. I joined the Georgian School of Nursing. I became a nurse. And she came back. She's now 70-something and came back to Guyana. And she said, I want to see my adopted child. And I want to see my grandkids too. And so we went and spent a week at her home. In that home, God said, Liebert, get up and read that book. In that book, because of her age, she forgot and wrote down her social security. I went straight to the American Embassy with it. Ladies and gentlemen, today, they said under the adoption law, you are a citizen of the United States of America. I exited Guyana in 2014 as a U.S. citizen. My children today, one is at Ramapo, distinction, RA, and she's going off to the Columbia University to do her master's. God is awesome. I thought God, and I said, listen, I promise you, I'm going to be the best nurse you ever be. I ever am. I came to America, did the CNA, and I put my all into patient care. I've been called troublemaker. I've been called confrontational for standing up for patients' right. Safety, security, short of staff. I've been known as the word, but I stand today to say to all my patients in Guyana, Barbados, and in America, patient is priority. And I'm going to continue doing my best. I love patient care. Staffing is a problem. If there's short of staff, it equals neglect. So to the states that hear me right now, please put staffing into place. It's important. Patient care is priority. And to get patient care, you have to have efficient staffing. So to the state of New Jersey, to the mayor, to the Congress, please, one day you can become a patient, God forbid. Patient is priority. And I stand here to tell Ms. Bay, thank you very much. I love my job. I'm going to continue working for my patients. Love everybody. That's my story.
You want to give us a little sample?
Sure.
Of your rap?
I could. Check this out. To all the women out there, I want to say congratulations. What the women them want? Tell me what the women them need. Hey, what the women them want? Tell me. Love and respect we want, love and respect. Love and respect they want, love. Hold on. We taking it down. Better beat. See all the women, man, taking it down. Him now. 1, 2, 3, go. Black white, shiny too. It doesn't matter, regardless it's you. Black, white, shiny too. Hey, God loves you. Watch me now. Love is not skin deep that makes the heart leap. Love is a treasure given by God for us to keep. Because each time we care, each time we share, we're expressing our love the same. Hold on. Yo, love is not lust. It lasts for a while. Love is everlasting, man. Love is kind. And I want to tell all the women, congratulations. Big up to all the women and happy Women's Month. Thank you.
You have your letter also from the mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Bay.
You have your letter from the governor. Your letter from Congresswoman McIver.
Thank you.
And also from Newark Municipal Council.
Thank you. To Ms. Bay, I want to say a special thanks. This woman is awesome. She is good. Let me tell you something. Ms. Bay, I want to tell you this. You know, you taught me patience, understanding too. You taught me to believe in me as I believe in God. And I want to tell you this right now. You are blessed. You are blessed. And this, what you have done, is going to make me go on. Get in good trouble, John Lewis said. Get in good trouble for patient care. And to all the CNAs, nurses out there, stand up for what is right. Stand up for what is right. You know? Because as I say, one day we can become a patient. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes?
Can I have your picture, please? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and this I dedicate to our patients. That's right. Hold it.
Oh, look here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. There you go. Put it down. Hold it down. There you go. Like this. Thank you.
Look here. Okay. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Bam. One more. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
So this next young lady that's coming up, we go way back. I ran for school board, and I think her husband at the time was running for school board, right? And working for the city of Newark, I am not quiet. If I see something wrong, I'm going to say it. And I go to the council meetings, and I say it. Want me? Hold on. Okay. When I go to council meetings, I talk about what I see that's happening to our residents. I live in Newark. Okay, so when I spoke at the council meeting the first time, someone, I don't say names, came to me and said, oh, I saw you in the council chambers when I was speaking. I came back to see you, but you was gone. I said, I spoke. He said, yeah, I know. People have been calling me. I said, oh, nice. Is it good? He said, Miss Bay, it's not good. I said, what do you mean it's not good? Everything I said was good. You know? He said, you work for the city. I said, well, what does that mean? I work for the city. You work for the city. I said, oh, you're telling me that because I work for the city, when I see something wrong, when I see y'all doing something to our residents, I'm supposed to be quiet. I said, but y'all already know I'm not like that. I've never been like that. And I ain't gonna be like that. I said, these brothers and sisters are coming down to me to get services. And I can't provide the services because y'all ain't doing what you're supposed to do. So that's why I come to you, because you're the governing body and you're supposed to help us. Because I don't want them to think that I got the money, because if I had the money, they'd have it too. It'd be taken care of, right? So in Newark, we have a serious housing issue. And I happened to look at this sister, and she put on my post, "We need to talk." I said, "Okay, sure, we can talk." Daphne. First of all, I didn't know that she was into real estate. I had no idea that she was doing that. Then she started telling me some things and stuff she started telling me. I said, "Oh, you gotta come on the show. You have to come on the show." Because she has been helping so many people to get their housing, their apartments. She knows what's going on. And she lived, not only does she live in Newark, she worked for Newark. Yes. You retired from Newark, right? Yeah. So yes, you survived, and look at what you're doing today, helping people with their house. Hold on, I'm not going to tell you a story. You know, you're going to tell it, but I just wanted to let them know why she needs to be up here, because we need to have more brothers and sisters like her who are out in the community helping people to get homes. Because we have so many. I go into these shelters. That's one of the reasons why I'm going to be speaking next week about these shelters. And not only how they're housed, but who they put in there. They ain't doing nothing for them. You know, so that needs to be brought out. So.
Thank you, first of all, for honoring me and recognizing me. I really appreciate it. I'm a lifelong Newark resident. I've been in Newark since my parents brought me here from Atlanta, Georgia, when I was a toddler. I'm the oldest of 5 children. That's my sister right there. And my daughter. And like Miriam said, we go a long way back. I remember when Miriam opened her school, you know, so this is how long we go back. I remember when she was on the school board. I voted for her. You know, and to say that is a lot, because I'm one of those people that I vote my conscience. And I try to tell people, I'm also a district leader, and I try to encourage my district residents to vote your conscience. Don't worry about tickets and, oh, we have to vote this ticket and we have to vote line A all the way. No, because I've seen people walk on to city council and they came right out of nowhere and walked on the city council only because they were on a particular ticket. And you could be voting for Satan and you don't even know it. You say, okay, you just blindly go in and hit all the numbers. So that's one thing I do. So it was an honor and a privilege for me to vote for Miriam, because I knew that she cared about our children. I knew she was going to do a good job in representing the city of Newark children, because at the time I had children in school, and even to this day, my children are very, very, very grown, but I still vote in every election, especially school board election, because you guys have children, and your children are going to grow up one day, and I hope that they become this type of nurse, because when I get too old to move around on my own, I may have to depend on this young lady to come and be the nurse to take care of me. I want her to be well educated. I want her to be well prepared, because we invested in her as representatives of the city of Newark and supporting the school. And likewise with the real estate that we talk about, the city of Newark has an abundance of treasure here in terms of real estate. There is no reason why anyone here who lives in the city of Newark should not have ownership of something in the city of Newark. You want to own a townhouse, you want to own an apartment, you want to own a home. Why are we concerned about gentrification? Every time I look around, oh, it's gentrification. They're pushing us out and they're stopping it. These properties are for us. This is our town. I ride all through Newark as a realtor, and I just look at different properties, different abandoned properties, different vacant properties, and I say, I see vision. The home I live in The home I live in was a board up. When I bought that house, it had a broken driveway. It had a broken garage with an abandoned car in it. It had no windows. It had no doors. It had no bathroom. It had no sink. I lived in there. I kid you not, my father was terrified. I lived in there. It had no electric power because, of course, it was an abandoned building. So the first thing I did was put electric power in the building, so at least I'd be able to see. I lived in a room, one of the rooms, while the renovation was going on. So I had one little toilet and the electric power on. The rest of the house had no windows. The rest of the house had no doors. Boards were everywhere. I had one door going in and going out. And I never forget, my father, he came in, he said, baby, how are you gonna do this? I'm scared for you. And I said to him, you know, Daddy, those who have faith don't worry. And those who worry have no faith. I said, if it's God's will that I be here and that I survive this experience, then I'm going to survive this experience. Because I fought Satan and all his minions to get this house. I can tell you some stories that I don't have time to tell you about how I fought Satan and all his minions to get that house. And I said, if God meant it for me to be here, I'm going to be here no matter what. And 23 years later, I'm still there. And so I say that to say we have to have vision in Newark about these properties. We have to have vision. We have to be visionaries when we look at our town instead of looking down at our town, looking down. Oh, I don't want to live in Newark. I get a lot of those calls. Ms. Turner, I'm looking for an apartment, but I don't want to live in Newark. Listen, I want to buy a home, but I want to live in Newark. Really? So now you're looking down at a town that held you up for many years, that educated you for free. Many of us went to these summer youth programs. We went to these recreation centers, all for free. And now you turn your nose down at this when there are people that are trying to get in here to push you out of here to take what's here. So I decided that I'm not just going to be a realtor. I'm not just going to look to help people get real estate in Newark. I'm going to be one-stop shopping. So I do everything. I even help people who are dealing with estate situations where they inherited the property from a family member, but they never did the estate. Please do the estate. Please do the probate. Because if you don't, when you get ready to purchase the property from the family, or you're the only person that's standing up willing to pay the taxes, and so you're going to take over the property, if the probate things have not been done, you're going to have a problem because you don't own the property. So I do the probate for you. I help you go through that process. I help you to find the properties. I help you to get the loan. I find the lenders for you. I help you to do the entire process from soup to nuts. How do you make an offer? What type of forms do you fill out to make an offer? What are the interest rates? How do you get a loan? What type of loan should you be getting? Dealing with tenants. If you're getting a property that you're inheriting from the family or you're buying it from the family, I've done that too, and there are tenants already in place, family members. They're living in the apartment that they don't pay any rent to, and now that you are now trying to buy the property from the family, they don't want to move. They don't want to go anywhere, but you can't buy it with them in place because you never get them out of there. So how do we deal with that? So I deal with those issues within the city of Newark, and of course outside of the city of Newark. But I try to talk to a lot of our city of Newark residents to help them with these decisions, to help them, especially people coming home, trying to get apartments. It's a whole new world. When you come from not being home for a long time, it's a brave new world. It's like, how much are rents now? The last time I knew anything about rents, they were $700 a month for 5-bedroom apartments. Like, what? So they're how much now? So now I try to help out with those types of things. So anytime I'm out and about, I give my cards out and I let them know. Let's talk about it. The one thing that I've been speaking mostly about lately with Miriam is the homelessness situation. We have a terrible problem where if you look around, we have buildings that are vacant, no one in them, and we have people needing somewhere to be with no place to be. So how can we bridge that gap? So that's the thing that Mary and I were talking about, that I'm going to be working with Newark Housing, trying to set up a program where we can establish trained tenants.